One of the first executive orders issued by President Trump after his inauguration on January 20th was an order entitled Protecting the Meaning and Value of American Citizenship. The executive order directs federal agencies to deny citizenship documents to anyone born in the United States if their mother was unlawfully present or temporarily in the United States at the time of their birth, and their father was neither a U.S. citizen nor a lawful resident. The move generated considerable controversy as critics asserted it violated the 14th Amendment's Birthright citizenship clause. Defenders of the move countered that the 14th Amendment had been misinterpreted. But what is birthright citizenship, and what can international relations tell us about this current controversy? Hey everyone, I'm Noah Zerbe. I'm a professor of global politics at California State Polytechnic University Humboldt. Welcome back to Global Insights, where we use political science, international relations, and political economy to analyze the big issues shaping our world. The current controversy is rooted in competing interpretations of the 14th Amendment. Passed in 1868 in the aftermath of the Civil War, the 14th Amendment provided that all persons born or naturalized in the United States and subject to the jurisdiction thereof are citizens of the United States and of the state wherein they reside. This portion of the 14th Amendment is usually referred to as the Citizenship Clause. The Citizenship Clause directly repudiated the Supreme Court's 1857 decision in the case of Dred Scott v. Sanford, which held that people of African descent, whether enslaved or free, were not citizens of the United States. The 14th Amendment adopted the concept of birthright citizenship, making nationality an inclusive and stable legal status conferred to anyone born on U.S. soil and subject to its jurisdiction. Birthright citizenship is sometimes referred to as jus soli, Latin for law of the soil. The principle of jus soli grants citizenship to anyone born within a country's borders, regardless of their parents' nationality. This contrasts with jus sanguinis, law of the blood, where citizenship is derived from one's parents. Jus sanguinis means that the child has the citizenship of the parents regardless of where they're born. Essentially, citizenship is inherited. Globally, an interesting division emerges between countries that follow each system. While jus sanguinis tends to be common in European and Asian countries, jus soli tends to be more common in the Americas. In addition to the United States, around 30 other countries, including Canada, Mexico, Argentina, Brazil, and others, confer birthright citizenship. In part, this geographic division is a reflection of historical, political, and demographic factors. Many countries in the Americas were founded as settler societies where population growth relied primarily on immigration. In these countries, we tend to see citizenship rooted in the principle of jus soli in order to help integrate diverse immigrant groups into the nation. By contrast, Asian and European countries tended to favor jus sanguinis because their concept of nationhood is rooted in shared ancestry, language, and culture. The fact that nationhood predated the development of the modern state in many such countries meant that politics were often already organized around ethnic or national identities, obviating the need for nation-building projects that developed in settler societies. Indeed, the concept of nation-building is central here. Nation-building is the process by which a group of people come to identify as a nation, often with shared cultural, linguistic, historical, or political characteristics. It involves creating a sense of collective identity, belonging, and a shared sense of destiny. Remember that in international relations, a state is a political entity with a defined territory and government, while a nation is a group of people with a common identity. The process of nation building involves aligning the two, creating a state that reflects and embodies the nation. Typically, this is accomplished through a variety of tools, promoting narratives that emphasize common experiences, heroes, historical events, and even national myths. Promoting common language, tradition, arts, and symbols that represent the nation. Establishing schools, legal systems, and government structures that foster a shared citizenship. And developing immigration and citizenship policies that legally define who belongs to the nation and how newcomers are integrated. In immigrant and settler societies like the United States, Canada, and much of Latin America, the principle of jus soli helped integrate diverse populations and foster that sense of national unity. By granting citizenship at birth, these countries created a shared political identity among different ethnic, cultural, and linguistic backgrounds. In contrast, in countries where jus sanguinis was dominant, citizenship was rooted in ancestry, often reinforcing ethnic homogeneity at the cost of excluding significant portions of the population, like immigrants and their descendants, from full political participation. However, some critics argue that jus soli can actually undermine traditional notions of national identity, especially in times of high migration. This is where we see a rise of nationalist movements that often seek to restrict or eliminate birthright citizenship. President Trump's executive order highlights the challenges posed by unrestricted birthright citizenship, including concerns over birth tourism, where people travel to give country and births that grant automatic citizenship to their children. It's exceedingly difficult to get precise estimates of the scale of birth tourism, but one study found that between 20 and 26,000 women on tourist visas in the United States gave birth between mid-2016 and mid-2017. While critics assert that this is an overestimate developed by an organization promoting restrictions on immigration, even accepting this figure as accurate for the sake of argument, it would represent about 0.6% of the total 3.9 million births in the United States during that time frame. The contemporary debate over ending birthright citizenship in the United States takes place in a constantly evolving international order. Indeed, it's worth remembering that the current debate over the interpretation of the 14th Amendment is just the most recent such debate in the United States. The traditional broad interpretation of the Citizenship Clause is rooted in an 1898 U.S. Supreme Court decision in the case of United States v. Wong Kim Ark, which held that nearly all individuals born on U.S. soil were automatically U.S. citizens regardless of parental status. The key question in the Wong Kim Ark case was whether a child born in the United States to non-citizen parents qualified as a citizen under the 14th Amendment's Citizenship Clause. At the time, the Chinese Exclusion Act of 1882 restricted Chinese immigration and prevented Chinese laborers in the United States from becoming U.S. citizens through naturalization. But in a 6-2 decision, the Supreme Court ruled that Wong was a U.S. citizen under the 14th Amendment. The court further ruled that the phrase "subject to the jurisdiction thereof" in the 14th Amendment applied to almost all individuals, exempting only foreign diplomats and enemy forces in wartime. President Trump's executive order, which will almost certainly be the subject of legal challenges that go all the way back to the U.S. Supreme Court, is essentially rooted in a narrower interpretation of the phrase "subject to the jurisdiction thereof." The argument is essentially that non-U.S. citizens are not subject to the jurisdiction of the United States, and therefore the 14th Amendment's Citizenship Clause does not apply, and that therefore the children of non-U.S. citizens are not entitled to U.S. citizenship regardless of where they were born. The debate over ending birthright citizenship, though, is not confined just to the United States. Indeed, a number of countries around the world have moved to limit jus soli. India, for example, abolished jus soli in 2004, requiring that at least one parent be an Indian citizen for a child born in India to acquire Indian citizenship. Ireland, Australia, and New Zealand have all made similar moves. The United Kingdom has gradually restricted jus soli over time, requiring that one parent is a British citizen or has settled status, often referred to as indefinite leave to remain, that is, a legal resident, in the United Kingdom in order to acquire citizenship. And a 2013 decision by the Supreme Court of the Dominican Republic ended birthright citizenship for children born to undocumented parents and applied that decision retroactively to 1929. This decision effectively stripped thousands of people of Haitian descent from citizenship in the Dominican Republic, rendering them stateless. Stateless individuals are not recognized as citizens of any country. They lack the legal bond of nationality which connects the individual to a state and grants them certain legal rights and protections. Statelessness can be caused by a variety of factors. Discrimination based on ethnicity, religion, gender, or other factors can lead to statelessness, particularly for minority groups. The formation of new states or a shift in national boundaries can cause individuals to lose their citizenship if they don't meet the new state's citizenship criteria. Inadequate laws or administrative practices can create statelessness, especially for children born to stateless parents or those born out of wedlock. Wars and forced displacement can disrupt civil registration systems and lead to statelessness, as many people may lose or be unable to prove their nationality. And some countries have laws that prevent women from passing their nationality on to their children, leading to generational statelessness. According to the UN High Commissioner for Refugees, or the UNHCR, there are at least 10 million stateless people around the world today. While citizenship is a legal status granted by a state, the right to a nationality is recognized as a fundamental human right. Denying birthright citizenship could create stateless individuals, which could lead to a host of problems from limited access to education and healthcare to vulnerability to exploitation or human trafficking. Beyond the United States, global trends suggest that more countries are moving towards restrictive citizenship policies, reflecting rising nationalism and anti-immigrant sentiment. But in a world where migration is increasing due to conflict, economic disparity, and climate change, the question of who belongs and how we define citizenship will only grow more complex. So, where does the debate go from here? Do you think that citizenship is essential for national unity and integration, or do you believe that it should be limited to prevent misuse? How do other countries' approaches influence the debate in the United States? Let me know in the comments section below. That's it for today's episode of Global Insights. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you're notified when future episodes are released. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.